Right, now we're going to look at budgeting. So budgeting is a pretty important thing if you want to actually have any money left in life. Now, our budgets have a couple of main points. They're always drawn up in a table that contains an estimate of income and expenditure. So expenditure on this side, income, expenses. You have two kinds of expenses typically, a fixed expense or a variable expense. Now, a fixed expense is something that you can't change. It's a payment that you need to make and it has to be worked into your budget without any real flexibility. So if I was looking at a fixed expense, I'd be looking at things like rent, electricity, health insurance. These are all things that you have to pay. They're typically on a contract, or you know that you need to pay a certain amount each week, fortnight, month, whatever it is, and that is a fixed expense. A variable expense is something that changes, okay? That it can change from week to week, month to month, all that kind of thing. So things like food, we call that a variable expense. Clothing, because I don't need to buy clothes. Going to sport or doing sport, that's a variable expense. That's something that changes from month to month, okay? The other thing is, the budget's going to be calculated on a number of different things like weekly, monthly, quarterly, fortnightly, but you would typically recalculate a budget based off the same term. There's no point in me doing a budget for 1 week and then doing my next budget for a month later. You want to have a predictable and consistent time frame for your budget. Now, you might be asked a certain number of questions with budgets. One might be, for example, well, based on income and expenses, how much would they save each month, or how much could they save each month? So we might look at something like our total here. So we know that they make $2,073 a month, and their expenses are $980. So we know that that's 3, that becomes a 1, that's a 10, so that's a 9, that's a 17, that becomes a 9, 0, and a 1. So we know that they can save $1,093 a month, for example, just by taking their income, their expenses away from their income. You might also be asked things like, if they're saving for a trip and it costs $5,000 for this trip, okay, how long will it take them to save based on their monthly budget? So let's say, for example, ignoring this one, someone managed to save $200 per month, okay, $200 per month. If it said it took $3,000 to go on a trip, how long would it take them to actually save? Well, all we do is we take that $3,000 and we divide by 200, so the amount that they save per month. So I know 30 divided by 2, it's going to take them now 15 months, so they're going to have to save $200 15 times before they hit their $3,000 savings goal. So from budgets, you can look at things like fixed expenses and variable expenses. You come up with a whole different number of things by reading the table. They are laid out in a table, and from there you can answer a whole plethora of questions. That's budgeting.